In this video, I'm going to show you why lack of hip mobility can be a contributing factor to your patellar tendonitis. Hi, Dr. D here. Thanks for watching this short video. In today's video, we're talking about how a lack of hip mobility can be a contributing factor to your patellar tendonitis. And when I refer to hip mobility, I refer to the ability to be able to squat down, push the hips back, and that allows you to generate power from the strong gluteal muscles and hamstrings. You see, when we lack hip mobility, the body will compensate by using the joints below it or above it to look for motion. So for example, we have low hip mobility, you can get a back injury as well as a knee injury. And when we lack hip mobility, we're not able to strengthen the muscles in the glutes or the hamstrings. So what's going to happen is for any activity that requires hip mobility, such as jumping, then the quads are going to be dominating. And when the quads are dominant, they're going to have more tension, and that's going to put more tension on the patellar tendon itself. So in this video, I'm going to show you an example of how having good hip mobility is going to help you not only to generate more power and jump higher, but also on the landing, it's going to help you to absorb the impact with the posterior chain muscles instead of with the knee joint and the quads. Having good hip mobility will allow me to get down in a deep squat and push my butt back to generate the most power from my posterior chain muscles. As you can see here, this is a deep squat. I'm going into hip flexion, which in turn will allow me to create more knee flexion, and that will allow me to create more dorsiflexion of the ankle to push off with the greatest power. Where we go into hip extension, then that we'll see that we have knee extension and also ankle extension. Now on the descent, we'll use the posterior chain. Again, the hip mobility allows me to absorb the impact in the posterior chain muscles instead of the quads or the patellar tendon. Here we see decreased hip mobility. As you see, I'm not able to get down low. This will generate less power and allow me to bend my knees less, as well as bend the ankle less. So on the way up, the quads have to work more. I jump less. And on the way down, the quads and the knees have to absorb the impact instead of the posterior chain muscles absorbing that. Now here we look at the two side by side. As you see, the left goes down lower. That allows me to generate more power so I can jump higher. Then on the descent, we'll see that the impact is also important. The mobility of the hip allows me to push the butt back so the posterior chain absorbs the impact, not the quads. Now that you see the importance of good hip mobility and how it can prevent injury not only in the low back but also in the knees, I'm going to show you an exercise that you can start doing today so you can increase the mobility in your hips and prevent further injuries. Swing your leg right below your upper body, and then you're going to slide back with the opposite leg, and that's going to stretch the whole hip area while you maintain that position for 10 seconds. This is what it looks like from the front. You're going to swing the leg right below the upper body, and then let the weight of your body sink in as you slide back and hold that for 10 seconds. There you have it, guys. That's one example of why having good hip mobility is very important to prevent patellar tendonitis and knee pain. If you like the information in this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, leave me your comments and questions down below. And if you're looking for a way to get rid of patellar tendonitis, when you're taking into account the whole kinetic chain, starting from the foot all the way up to the hip, then make sure you head over to my website, patellartendonitisfix.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.